So we'll just have a just rough outline of the any scientific basis of spirituality. Is there anything or not? First of all, you have to know there's so much confusion regarding the terms spirituality, religion, religious fanaticism, etc., etc. So that ignorance has to be dispelled. And first of all, you have to know what is spirituality. The spirituality, the word has come from word spiritualitas, that means the breath. It really means it's a quest for a meaning and a purpose. It basically make you connected with what you are and what you should. This concept is based on mainly the moral values and some of the cultural ethos. However, many people talk that spirituality and religion are the same. It is not. Religion means it has come from a word called religare, to bind together. That means religion is a organized group of people who believe in certain values which is only for them, but spirituality is beyond it. Many people may be religious, they may be spiritual too, but many spiritual people may not be religious at all, because spirituality is there in all the people in their blood. So the difference between spirituality and religion is spirituality goes beyond what religion propounds. Now you have to know whether spirituality is a need for you to be spiritual. I think this is a very funny question. Everyone has got the spiritual belief in their system. It is there in the blood, and for a human survival there is a necessity. Now the next question many people will ask, do I need any spirituality? Why do you need it basically? And is there any vacuum in our living because of, without, if there is a vacuum, can it be filled by spiritual beliefs? Answer is a yes with a capital Y. The reason is spiritual beliefs or spiritual principles really invokes many positive emotions. It invokes especially the compassion, love, trust, honesty, and also the empathic understanding of others. It will boost up many moral values, and you will be self-disciplined, and you will have at least a reinforcement of the moral values in your life, and that improves the quality of life in your day-to-day living. And also these type of beliefs will not really drive you to many distractions, and you will have a better concentration, thinking process, and in effect a self-realization, a critical way of thinking, and a self-actualization, meaning you will have a better quality of life. That means you will be not only a human being, you will become a humane being. That is the crux of it. Apart from that, will it improve the psychological being? Will it really help you? As it instills confidence, and also it will boost your energy. You will be able to perform things better, because it will really advantageous for your concentration. Now people might really wonder whether the spiritual practices will they augur their health per se. It is better to remind you that the World Health Organization definition of a health is not only physical but psychological but spiritual well-being. Now unfortunately, many people do not consider what is spiritual well-being. Now spiritual practices that we practice, whether it be the yoga practices, the meditation practices, the prayers, many of the rituals, these practices have been documented to improve the psychological well-being not only naturally but irrationally. Most of the scientific journals have come out with positive beneficial effects, especially in relieving anxiety, in relieving depression, also in countering the drug abuse behavior, to improve the coping mechanisms, and also the spiritual practices of recent has been documented to improve your immune functions, especially your resistance power and also your resilience, meaning to coping mechanism to counter any adversities. It has all, and also it can improve the new formation of neurons, that we call it experience induced neuroplasticity. So these beneficial practices have been really integrated into many of the treatment modalities, even in psychiatry. That is, people call it is a spiritually augmented therapies, spiritually augmented cognitive therapies, especially in drug abuse, depression, etc., etc. And why people go to religious centers when they get alcoholism or when they have got an adjustment problem? They usually go to the religious retreat centers because they think that these type of exercises will give them some sort of solace. In fact, it can improve many changes in the brain, many changes especially in the decision, the areas involved, brain areas which are involved in your attention, concentration, emotion regulation, and even decision making capacities. Meaning, you can be a better human being with basically a quality, basically a human being with a good quality, having good decision making capacity. You can be a better manager if you have got some spiritual belief. You can be a better doctor if you have got a spiritual inclination. This is what I am doing in my practice also. Whenever you start practice, before that you pray God, yes, something beyond you. What you usually pray is only two things: give me the courage to think properly, to feel properly, and to act nicely. And the second request to the Almighty or God or Supreme is basically, with my thoughts, with my feelings and my actions, never hurt others, never injure others. These basic principles really reinforce your compassion, your love, the morality, moral values, and also really make you a better humane being rather than a human being. Now, neuroscientifically, mainly many imaging studies, brain imaging studies, have really documented improved, increased cerebral blood flow to the brain through the spiritual practices, especially the meditation, especially yogic meditation and other meditations. The old scriptures, yogic practices, many yogas, different yogas are there, whether it is like a dhyana yoga, karma yoga, or tantra yoga, mantra yoga, kundalini, many varieties are there. That all these concepts really focus on having a better psychological and physical discipline, and superimposed on that, you will have improvement in your concentration and decision making capabilities, and it will reinforce or boost your empathy and compassion. It has been documented in many journals, and that is there in our own Hindu practices or even Eastern practices. So many a time I used to say we are reinventing the wheel, because it is there. Only when the Westerners talk about it, we really ape that, but we do have all these things. Meditative practices, some of the people say that it is all religions based. Any religious community can practice all these things. These are all healthy principles, not based on any religion as such. Any religious bodies can practice all this yogic exercises, meditation, depending upon their way, because it is going to be beneficial. But some people say that there is a microcosm, may go to some mystical states, or sometimes they become abnormal. That is a small proportion. It's basically those who are more prone to have it, and they may have other vulnerabilities for that psychological breakdown. I think in this platform it is very difficult to talk about the newer neuroscientific data, because majority may not understand what I am speaking. But in effect, spiritual practices per se will improve your self-realization and self-actualization. It will improve and increase your concentration. It will boost up your empathic awareness. It will increase the compassion, and you will be it will really help you to be a self-disciplined, morally disciplined, better human being, and that is what our society demands, that is what our nation demands.